Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Lifestyle of Adri. I'm Adri, and today we're going to be doing a super awesome and very important video. It's going to be a top 10 countdown of the best tips and advice for new parents. So here we go. So starting our countdown off at number 10 is to reach out to other moms and parents. It's great to kind of meet people that are dealing with the same things or that are kind of at the same point in life as you. You know, kids aren't easy. So having a friend there who's been there, done that, or someone who's going through it at the same time as you can be really helpful during this time. I think there's an app. It's like a dating app for new moms to connect and get together, and that's a really smart idea. Give it a shot. Find other moms in the area. Get to know people. Make a buddy. I actually reached out to an old friend when I became pregnant. She just had twins. She's going through it with double trouble. I'm telling you, a big reason why I survived parenthood was because of her. I still need her. I still contact her all the time. Allie, you're the best. Thank you. I love you. Number 9. This one is really important, but probably one of the hardest to achieve, and that's stay nourished. It's so easy to not eat and to forget, and you get so caught up in doing all of these things. You're literally taking care of a human being who can't do anything for themselves. They completely rely on you 100%. So it's very easy to overlook your own health. Drink water, eat food. If that's something that's difficult, make meals ahead of time or make a big batch so that way you have a couple meals down the road to eat. Buy food that's really quick and easy. Oatmeal packs, granola bars, superfoods, stuff like that. Have all that stuff on hand, because if you're not able to eat a whole meal, at least you can find something that has a good amount of nourishment, that's quick and easy to make. Another thing too, drink plenty of water. I'm guilty of doing this myself. Speaking of that, get a big water bottle. Hydro flasks are awesome. They're really expensive, but they're totally worth the investment. And honestly, some stores have amazing sales. This one was on sale a couple weeks ago for I think 30 bucks. So take advantage of those deals. Get the straw, it makes it easier to drink. I have the 40 ounce. It's a little bit to lug around, but with the straw attachment, it's really easy to drink. If I drink 3 of those a day, that's about a gallon, which is honestly what you want to drink as a new parent. They also do sell big water bottles like this at Costco, and who doesn't love Costco? When you're a new mom, you're so exhausted, you need to drink a ton of water. If you chose to breastfeed, drinking water is so important. There were times where I wouldn't drink water, and the next day I would drink a ton, and I would see such a significant difference in my milk supply. So you really do have to pound water. The majority of your breast milk is water. So stay hydrated, drink up, invest in a water bottle before the baby comes, and it's a lot easier to keep track when you have that jug. Number 8, focus on what you have and not what you don't have. It's so easy to get caught up in the things that you don't have that would really help you as a new mom, but to be honest, that reality and that situation is probably not going to change. If it's just you and your partner and your family is out of town or something, it's very easy to think, if I just had my family, it would be so much easier. Or in my case, as a single parent, I was angry for a very long time. And I was so bitter that his dad chose not to be involved. I couldn't believe that he chose to leave when, let's be real, our son was planned. That when I was raising him alone, I just was fixated on that. I shouldn't be doing this alone. This isn't what we agreed on, and blah, 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 whatever. But that's a big slap in the face to everybody who is there. It wasn't fair to everybody that was there. My family was my foundation. They still are to this day. Like, my family stepped up without me ever needing to ask and have helped me so much. Once I changed that mindset to appreciating that, everything changed. It made life so much easier and so much better. Yeah, okay, his dad isn't around, but look at all of the amazing people that I have here helping me, who love that little boy and who are there for me. And I know if I really needed something, I could reach out to any one of them and they would do their best to help me. So don't focus on what you don't have. Don't focus on who isn't there. Focus on who is there. And you know what? If it's just you and the baby, focus on that little baby. One of the coolest things about your child is no matter what, they love you 100% unconditionally. That's so hard to find nowadays. Even in relationships, you guys tiff and there may be some things you don't like about each other, but you overlook it because you do love that person. But your child doesn't see any of that. They love you 100% unconditionally. It is the purest form of love. Focus on that and that love and how lucky you are to have that in your life. Number 7, this is pretty straightforward. Don't rush into exercising. Don't worry about your body. Your body just created another human being. And not only that, your body is also creating food food for that child to survive on. Women's bodies are absolutely crazy. So you know what? Take the time, enjoy your baby. Don't rush into exercising. Don't feel pressured. Don't feel like, man, you see all these moms out who are snapping back, no problem. Some people aren't like that. I wasn't like that. My son is almost 2.5 years old and I'm just now getting back into an exercise routine. I've done it here and there, but I've kind of fallen off and had other things I had to take care of. But I'm just now getting back into that, and that's okay. Do it at your own pace, do it at your own time. And if you don't ever want to and be like, I love my curves my baby gave me, roll with it, girl. It's your body and no one else's. And at the end of the day, you have to be happy with your body, and that's it. I mean, unless you're like Tiana G, who is like a superwoman and has the most amazing body right after her baby. I love you. I'm a total fangirl, by the way. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Most of us aren't like that. I mean, she works her butt off and she totally inspires me to get back into fitness. But don't get down on yourself if that isn't you, or if you're not in that situation, or if you're not ready yet. Who freaking cares? Photoshop and perfect bodies are overrated nowadays anyways. Number 6, chores can wait. There is a saying that's sleep when the baby sleeps, and I heard this the entire time that I was pregnant. However, once I had my son, I felt like that was a joke. When he's sleeping, I have to do so much things. That's the only time I have to do laundry. The only time I have to eat. The only time I have to get this and that done is when he's sleeping, because it's very hard to do things with a newborn. Your laundry can wait. Throw it in. Take a nap. If you're pulling their PJs out of that clean hamper and you haven't folded them yet, if you're a little behind on dishes, who cares? You really need sleep. Sleep is key. Don't feel so pressured to get everything done. Don't be pressured to be this amazing superhero mom who just has your whole house in order. Majority of us, after a newborn, don't. My room is still a mess sometimes, and he's 2.5, so whatever. Number 5, it's okay if the baby cries. If your baby is crying, don't freak out. They're fine. They're breathing. If you need to set the baby down next to you and fold the laundry or get what you need to done, it's okay. They can cry for a little bit. They'll probably take a nice nap after that. Anyways, if I'm being honest, sometimes after crying, they knock out and it's great. Funny story time. When Hudson was about 6 to 9 months and he really started moving around, I had no idea what he was capable of just yet. So one time I had my coffee on my dresser and it was cold because what mom drinks hot coffee? So it had been sitting there for about an hour. And he held himself on the dresser, stood up, and pulled my entire cup of coffee down. Spilt it all over him, all over my floor, all over my dresser, and I was just like... So what did I do? I cleaned it up, went down while holding him, made myself another cup of coffee, came back up, getting whatever I need to done. He's roaming around in the room. I put it somewhere a little bit higher and a little further back. So I'm like, okay, he can't get to it. Time goes by, coffee's cold all over again, because who drinks a warm cup of coffee nowadays as a parent? I turn around for 1 minute. I'm telling you, babies are the most determined people in this entire world. They want something, they're gonna get it. He pulled it down, spilt it inside of my drawer, in my dresser, coffee everywhere, on my clothes, on him, all over himself. And I had a freaking mental breakdown. Like, I just started sobbing. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Twice in an hour, and I didn't know what to do. So I called my best friend, Allie, my lifesaver, and I was just sobbing. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm too stressed out. I'm so exhausted. I just want to drink some coffee, blah, blah, blah. Just and complaining to her. And I was like, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. And she gave me some of the best advice. She's like, okay, take a deep breath, put him in the pack and play where he can't kill himself, he'll be okay, and leave the room for 10 minutes. And I felt so guilty, like I can't leave him alone. She's like, Adrian, put him in the pack and play for 10 minutes, walk to the next room and have your moment. I went to the other room and I was sobbing. I was sitting on the floor just crying, like I can't do this, it's too difficult. What did I get myself into? I took a deep breath, I put my big girl panties back on, I walked back in the room and I was like, okay, clean it up. So I cleaned it all up, went about my day. But the point is, you need to take those 10 minutes for yourself. You're constantly on the verge of a nervous breakdown. If I'm wrong, correct me, but I was constantly on the verge of a nervous breakdown. So take those moments when you need to. If they're in there crying a little bit, they'll be okay. Your mental sanity has to come first, because you can't take care of a new child unless you're mentally okay. Number 4, don't check in or check on so much. There are times if someone's watching the baby where you constantly feel like, are they okay? Or you kind of feel a little guilty for leaving your child with them, or like you have to take care of them because they're your responsibility. You feel like, oh, I feel bad, or is my baby difficult? You know, is she having problems? What's going on? Don't worry about it. If they have a problem, they will let you know. To this day, there's times where Hudson will be playing outside with my aunt and I feel guilty. I feel like, are you okay? Do you need me to take him? I can go outside with him. And she's like, you're fine. Go get some stuff that you need to get done. You constantly feel obligated, like he's my responsibility. I have to take care of him. I have to go get him. Are they okay? Does she feel like I'm pawning him off? And that's not the case at all. That's just our mom guilt. Don't check in. Don't check on. Get what you need to get done and take advantage of that time. If there's a problem, they'll contact you and they'll let you know, hey, we're all done. Here's the baby. Don't worry so much. All right, almost done. Number 3. This is a really important one. Don't hover over the in-laws. As a new parent, it's easy to be very controlling and want things done a certain way. You have to sit him up when you feed him. Don't do this. Don't do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. Blah, blah, blah. Other people have different ways of raising their children. Say your in-laws are over and they're helping you take care of him. You know, you're a new mom. Family is over helping. Don't freak out on them. Give them a little bit of space and give them a little bit of trust. You had a child with their son or daughter, so chances are they know a little bit about raising a baby. So relax on them a little bit. They may have different ways of doing things, but no, they love that baby just as much, if not more, as they love their own child. Don't be so hard on them. That baby is also an extension of them. So they love that baby. They're not going to do anything to hurt that baby. Maybe they do things a little bit different, but they're going to do what they feel is best for that child, just like they did with their own child. So ease up a little bit. Don't be so cray-cray. Don't be so crazy. All moms can be crazy. Pump the brakes. Don't be so difficult on them. They're doing what they think is best for their grandchild. You have to respect that. You got to understand that. Number 2, don't compare yourself to other moms. It's so easy to compare yourself to other parents with social media out there nowadays. There are tons of parents whose lives look absolutely perfect. Literally picture perfect on social media, but chances are that's not the case. No parenthood is easy off the bat. Unless you have a 24-hour nanny that majority of the time is doing all the dirty work, it's not easy. Chances are after every post, their baby is having a meltdown, having a major blowout, crapping all over themselves, and that mom is sitting down crying because of how stressful it is. A picture really doesn't say anything about parenthood. Really, if anything, it's so misleading. Don't worry about social media. Every parent's journey is difficult. Every parent's journey is different. So embrace your own. Don't compare yourself. Do the best that you can. And if that means having a margarita once a week because of how stressed you are, you need to. All right. Number 1. This is the most important of all. If you feel like you're not okay, reach out. I heard about postpartum depression. I never in a million years thought that it would hit me. Ever. I never thought I would deal with that. You hear about it, but you're like, dang, that sucks, but that'll never happen to me. And it did. It did freaking hard. Oh man, I was a mess. I mean, I knew something was off, but I didn't realize how bad it was. There's so much hormonal changes that you can be very off balance for a really long time. Add sleep deprivation into that. Add malnourishment into that. Add dehydration into that. Your body is like, what the is going on, girl? Doctors give you those questionnaires for your own benefit, and it's really easy to want to lie, and you don't want to say that. Sometimes you feel like not getting out of bed all day. Sometimes you lack the motivation to do anything that day because you're worried about what they'll think, but they're doing that for your own well-being. Don't lie on those questionnaires. Fill them out correctly and honestly. All they want is what's best for you. Don't feel ashamed and don't feel embarrassed. Reach out to family. I was not okay for a long time, and finally when I realized it, I sat my mom down and just started sobbing and was like, Mom, I'm not okay. Something is not okay. She kissed me and she said, what's going on? Let's fix it. Let's figure it out. I'm here for you. And that was the best thing I'd ever done, was just open up. If you're not comfortable opening up to a family member, open up to a friend. If you aren't comfortable with either of those, call a hotline. I'm gonna link numbers and websites down below for anybody that feels like they're struggling or they're going through something. That way you can reach out to them. Those numbers are anonymous. Those websites can be anonymous, so you don't have to identify yourself, and they're there to help you. I felt really ashamed for feeling the way I did and having the thoughts that I did, and you know, how am I not enjoying this time? It's such a beautiful time. All I do is cry all the time. It happens to a lot more people than you realize. It's actually very common. And also, if you don't tell anybody, it can never get better. You don't have to deal with things by yourself. That's what your doctors are there for. That's what therapists are there for. That's what family, friends, helplines are all there for, to get you back up and to get you feeling okay again. As soon as you realize you're feeling something a little bit off, reach out immediately. Don't wait, don't hesitate, don't feel ashamed, and don't feel embarrassed. Alrighty guys, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be dropping a part 2 next week with tips that are just as equally as important. So if you liked it, hit that notification bell so you'll get an update on when that video drops. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe. I hope it helped. This is Lifestyle of Adri, and I will see you next week.